Hello, you are listening to Between Sets. This is Fuzz.
Mike, I feel like I need to sneeze.
So, okay.
It's just sitting there, and it's not quite there. I thought I was going to sneeze in the intro then, but it's not happened, so there we go. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
This is such an interesting start to a podcast. How you doing? I'm going to sneeze any minute now. Good chat.
Yeah.
It's 9 a.m. in the morning. This is the earliest I've ever recorded a podcast, because normally you're either training or you're training people. What's happened? You're not busy anymore?
I just get some weeks where I have people that they do random shifts, and then it kind of alternates between weeks where sometimes they'll have a session in the morning because they're on a late shift, and then other times they'll have a session in the afternoon because they're on an early shift. So just means today is quieter, not quiet, but quieter, and then tomorrow is hectic, to say the least.
Fun times. You got to take advantage of the quietness.
It's just the life of it. It's just the way it goes. Like scheduling. Yesterday, I had 9 PT sessions.
Not bad.
Yeah, madness.
It's a long day.
Absolute madness.
It's a long time spent in the garage. That's all I can say. I think I've ever spent 9 hours in my garage before.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, I did 5 in a row, at which point my concentration definitely starts to lapse a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you best will in the world, as much as I love what I do, you're saying the same things on repeat for 5 hours. And then I had a kind of a break, and then I had another 4. So, but then it means today is more flexible and I can do more stuff. So that's cool. It is what it is.
Things around about, isn't it? The thing is, what I find about these, like, I don't know if you want to call them downtimes or whatever, quite rare in a minute, but my downtime is theoretically emptying the dishwasher and looking after my child and hoovering and cleaning and doing a podcast. That's my downtime. Yep. This is downtime for me.
Yeah, I mean, it does get like that. I mean, I've started business coaching now as well. So I'm now being coached in terms of online coaching. So that's going to be an interesting.
I noticed that when you posted those, I'm like, there's no way he's done that off his own back. There's no way he's posted those photos on his own back.
I've not actually had a session with him yet. My first session with him is today. So I had a conversation with him, and he said, just have a look at my page, have a look at some of the stuff that I post and try and mimic some of that. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I did some Photoshop.
Is that his coaching? Is it? Do what I do.
But yeah,
thank you
pretty
for my
much.
£1,000.
That's madness. But so I've got that now. That's penciled in for 6 months. So I end up with calls once every 2 weeks, and then check-ins every other weekend. So there's always something in the week, basically.
This is what I've kind of like, for some, obviously for a lot of people, and this is going to make me sound so snobby, but business coaches work, right, no matter what. Let's just say if you're like yourself, where you're like, I know what a business is, I know how to do it, I know I've been doing it for a while. But that's just like saying, I know how to train, but I'm not at my optimal form yet. It's like you just need that guy to just kick you up the arse and make you accountable, and just kind of that's it.
It's exactly that. It's as much accountability as, like, I don't like social media stuff. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not good at it. I post genuinely whatever comes into my weird little brain at any point in time. Like this morning was,
those posts were quite good.
I'm doing a chess session. I'm listening to Creed. Cool, let's post that. Some people like it. Some people like fucking unfollow me. I don't care.
But don't think about it. Don't overthink posts.
That's
especially
it. I just kind of just do stuff, basically. And some people like that, in which case carry on following, and other people don't, in which case I don't really care. I don't know you. You're a weird person on the internet. Do you know what I mean? Hello, fans, by the way.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I think it's good for your mental health just to realise that, like, we're doing it, we're enjoying it anyway. If people want to see it, people want to see it.
Yeah, and like I'm kind of trying. When you're looking at so I'm looking at online coaching now, and I'm trying to like branch out and gain clients. Something I've not done before, and that's the reason for wanting to have a business coach, because my clientele who I've come across, they've been people that I can talk to face in a gym, understand what it is they need, and go from there. Now, the actual coaching element of it, as in getting someone from A to B and the training, I'm fine with that. That's not a problem. What I want to know is to develop a system to be able to reach the people that I'm after, essentially. Now, if you think in terms of the amount of time I actually have in a week, I'm after 20 people, right? And that's kind of the limit based on like what else I have going on. It's 20 people out of the world. That's the percentage I'm after. So
100%, yeah.
it's just trying to target those people essentially, and it will
But it's not
happen.
even those people. It's being consistent online, so you can allow that turnover. Because and that turnover won't be your fault, but it'll just be. It's just well, on online coaching, it's going to cover. Like, I'm not sure if there's a contract in place or whatever. But even if there is, probably 2 out of 10 people last a month, and that's not because of you. That's just because of their own sort of actions.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, part of online coaching, what I like about it is you're trying to find people that are ready to be autonomous. They're ready to train by themselves. For a lot of people in the gym, you're not there. I will say that outright. You need one-to-one to tell you this is wrong, adjust this, change this, work harder. And then there's, I'd say, probably a percentage of the gym, maybe 10%, who are actually ready to be coached online. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy in a weird way, because if you take these people who are training hard on the regular, they're dieting, and you just tweak things just a little bit, suddenly they start making all the progress in the world. And it's like, oh, look at me, I'm such a great coach. Well, yes, kind of, but you're kind of nearly there already, and that's the point. It's
I think online coaching as well. I have a completely different opinion who another online coach might have in regards to how they manage that. So, for instance, check-ins, whether they're face-to-face, whether they're just through an app, whether they're just like a questionnaire. It's like from a high standard business owner point of view, it would always be one-to-one. It would always be a face-to-face video call rather than I'm going to send you a questionnaire, you tell me how you're doing. And that's kind of like what they're paying for, isn't it? They could have
100%. Yeah, and the thing the reason I'm going down this route now is I have run online coaching before, where it's essentially you get your program, you get your nutrition plan, whatever it happens to be, and then you get an automated form which I've set up, which comes through each week, and then it really is on the individual to fill in that form, send it back to me, and I will feed back and adjust things based on that form. Now, I wasn't charging very much for that and I've kind of stopped taking on new people on the basis that I'm changing how I'm doing things. But I was charging next to nothing for that because it takes very little of my time to actually do that. And although to them the feedback can be very revolutionary, to me, because it's already in my brain, I had the experience there, it's 5 minutes of actually typing, right? That's the truth of it. And that's why I was kind of affording to be able to charge so little, because it didn't take much of my time. This is now going to change things slightly where, like you said, it's going to be booking in calendar slots for then a one-to-one call with me to then, go over things and discuss things correctly and things like that.
Exactly,
it's going to be interesting.
I've spoken to a few different online coaches before I met you, actually, funnily enough, and they had their own sort of take on it, and it's amazing how much of a variable it is. It's unreal. Like that's going to make me feel a bit better about how people can just quite easily niche their own PT side, like just create a niche, even if it's so simple as something like, I charge you £5,000 a month. Like, it's mental, isn't it? Yeah. Like before I met you, I met someone, and I think I told you, and you were so shocked. And like they just travel the world. They're never really in the country, but they're taking like £3,000 for 2 months, and they're literally just giving you a program and a questionnaire and a nutrition plan, and then they're just there if you need them. They're just like, whenever you message me, I message back, and it's just like, I've got a wife for that. I'm good.
In my brain, that's not a service. That's something you can find all that information online. You just need to actually spend some time doing it.
But I think from that business plan, it's taking advantage of people that just need a kick up the arse. Like, they're just looking for, if I pay £3,000, then I'm guaranteed to see results. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. You're not ever guaranteed to see results. We're not giving you liposuction.
Well, this is the mad thing. So I know someone who lives very close to us, who was, as far as I know, so one of my clients inquired with them, and it was essentially something ludicrous. It was about £2,000 to £3,000 for a 12-week program with a WhatsApp check-in once a week, which was a voice note, and it was a nutrition plan. There was no training involved. There was no one-to-one time. That was
This is it. That's what I'm
just
saying.
that.
There's literally people will pay for anything, and this is mental. But that's why you kind of niche. I'm kind of glad that I naturally felt in my own sort of niche with like middle-aged women, really, because that's what I kind of like bounce off of, and then they love me, and it's great. It works.
Yeah,
Like, I love it,
yeah.
and I don't feel like
And
I'm working.
it's one of those strange things where I think if you try and isolate and find, if you deliberately try to force a niche, it doesn't really work. If you just advertise and say,
Yeah.
"Look, this is me," you will naturally, people will gravitate to you based on
It's
what they're
funny,
after.
yeah. We were having this conversation the other day because, like, when I was advertising the 11, it was just kind of like me. It was just black and white. Literally, my tattoo is the logo for the 11,
Yeah,
and I thought it would attract men because of how sort of masculine it is. Apparently, I've
yeah,
got a feminine tattoo, I guess, but it just attracted women,
yeah.
which is great
I
because
mean,
I didn't realize it at the time, but that's who I want to work with.
mm,
But it's
it,
advertising it now. Now it's like I've only just ever very recently started going women, putting women in
yeah,
my posts.
yeah,
Because it's a scary thought. Like in the day, like I'm quite lucky because PTing isn't my full time, so I'm not relying
yes,
fully on PT. So I can kind
mm,
of take some risks and some gambles.
yeah, yeah.
But now I'm like, look, I'm just going to start focusing on women only, almost.
Yeah, and that's perfectly valid because that's who you have naturally gravitated towards you
Yeah.
anyway. Um,
Was you're gay, so
I
you
mean,
love dick. I'm just reminding you of this. Like,
I mean, I think a large amount of it is kind of how you set the 11 up as well, because it's set in a class setting, right? And again,
community
not
setting, yeah,
meaning to
definitely.
stereotype or anything like that. The majority of my classes that I do, it is women that go to them because I think they prefer the collaborative teamwork
Yeah.
type stuff. Um, Whereas I'd say the majority of my one-to-one clients are men. Not all. I would say probably a split of about 70-30, roughly
Yeah.
speaking. But classes, yeah, you're looking at like 90%
What
plus
about the
women.
massaging? Is that more women with massaging?
Um, no, I'd say that's pretty even. I'd say that's about
Oh, okay.
50-50, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Because I've never had, I think we've just touched base on this before, I've never had a man massage me. And I think
Yeah.
that's literally my only blocker is the fact that, like, plus you're like my best mate. That'd be so weird. That would be so
I
odd.
mean,
You going,
it's not
I don't
the
know.
thing to get your head around is it's not a nicey massage. It's just not like, um,
Oh, yeah,
and
exactly.
again,
Yeah.
not to
That'll
discredit
be the
some.
horrible, that'll be the worst happy ending ever, wouldn't it? And then I'm going to strangle your balls.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean,
Dominatrix
not
shit
to
going on.
discredit some female massage therapists because I'm sure they're very strong. Um, Again, this will sound very dodgy, but I can do more with my hands than what women
Yeah.
can, I would suggest.
I'm just gonna have to stop you there. Whoever's like, if there's someone listening that knows how to fix chairs, please get in touch. For about a
Are
year
you
now,
on about this chair?
yeah.
Get a new
Like, wait,
chair.
wait. It's not. This chair is fucking expensive, but it
Well,
just keeps
by
going.
the
Oh fuck! Now I've just gone on my cable. I just think that I don't know. Something's gone. I'm either extremely overweight for this chair, or something's gone on it. Like the hydraulics is leaking or something. I don't know.
I
I'm just
mean,
slowly going down. So if you're watching us on YouTube
right.
and you can see me just slowly disappearing, that is the chair, not
Okay,
me.
so how long do you spend sitting in that chair a day, realistically?
10 hours minimum.
Okay. They say one of the best things you can buy is a good mattress because you spend 8 hours sit like
It's a good
in it
chair.
on it essentially, right? Well, it's not because it keeps fucking sinking. So
No,
just
no,
buy
no.
a better
The
chair.
chair is amazing. The hydraulics has gone slightly, so I either need to get it fixed. I need to maybe just like send it back and get another one. This is a 500
How,
quid chair, by the way. Just putting it
how
out there.
many? Yeah, but how many cameras have you bought in the past couple months?
None, none. Why'd they say it like that? None.
None.
I've not bought a single camera since I don't know, first half of the year.
Lenses.
Yeah, yeah. I've not actually invested because I
Okay.
invested quite a lot at once. Because I've got everything I need. Like I do, I want
Look
nice
how you
gear. Like
phrase
I
things,
do
by the
want
way.
what
Like of all the cameras that you've got, you still call it investing. I'm investing.
it is an investment.
Invest in a
It
chair.
is.
You spend 10 hours sitting in the thing.
Yeah,
Do you know? Do you know? So my chair at the moment that I'm sitting in, it doesn't sink. Do you know why? It's just got four legs.
Yeah,
It's got
mine
four
has.
legs,
Yeah,
and it's I don't go anywhere. You know, basic.
I know, but you don't sit on a chair for 8 hours. You got. I need. This is a proper gaming chair, like built for people that like. Oh, actually, saying that
Hmm.
next Tuesday, I've actually kind of wangled a good one. So
Okay.
my best mate in Milton Keynes, he's moving to Australia soon,
Okay.
and basically, like we used to game a lot, like what, like 7 years ago, probably like every day. So when I ruptured my Achilles, I was actually off for about 6 months because I broke
Yep.
my left foot and ruptured my Achilles on my other one, and I was just out of it for ages. Literally every day for my 6 months, I was just playing video games. It was amazing. Best day of my life. Best part of my life. Um, so before he
If you
goes away, so
rupture
he's
your
going
other
away in
Achilles now, by the way, you're going to 100% get like suspicions cast on you. Like you've done this deliberately, you fuck.
but he's going away in December now. So literally next month, he's off to Australia, which is mental. And you can't play video games when, like, do you know what I mean? The ping would be, if people don't know what ping is, it's like, have you
Yeah.
ever seen the news where they're broadcasting over to Australia and there's like a 5 second delay and it's so awkward? That's what
Yeah.
ping is basically.
I mean, I think it would
So
depend on what type of game. Like there are some games you can get away with, I would
yeah,
say.
yeah, you could play like Pac-Man, I guess. I don't know, but like cards. But yeah, so next Tuesday we are doing a 24-hour video game session, and do you know
Nice.
what? I can't wait.
Yep.
I need to get it out of
What
me. I need to get any child out of me so I can be more productive.
what games are on the agenda?
Oh, it's just one game. We're
One game.
five. We're basically 5 year olds. We play Fortnite.
Oh, God, dude. No.
Come on, you got
Of
to let
all
your
the
inner
right,
child
of
out.
all the games you could play, why the fuck would it be
So
Fortnite?
we were good mates in school, and when Fortnite came out, we bumped into each other again, like basically online, and then we've just basically just played Fortnite ever since. Because it's just a
Right.
nice little way of just catching up every couple of weeks. But it is a good game, and what's good about Fortnite is that they invest a lot like into it every single week. That there's always loads of changes, there's loads of different characters or whatever, and yeah, it keeps you
I mean,
engaged.
my game when I was growing up, so me and mate Kev, we used to play Halo 3 to
Mm.
like a pretty good standard. We used to play team doubles quite a lot. And I tell you
I'm
now,
just
if
not.
that came
I
out,
can't do first person shooters anymore. I get like motion sick.
oh God, you are old. I mean, we're roughly the same age, but no, no. But Fortnite's a shooter, and it's all
It's
right.
not
It's
first.
over the
It's third
shoulder, sort.
person. Yeah,
Yeah, fine. But yeah, if they brought out Halo 3 as like a just they changed nothing about the gameplay. You just need to update it and bring it to the next
yeah,
generation console. I would I would play the shit out of that without fail. It would be awesome.
yeah. I, 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 I agree with you. So there's a few games I used to play like Counter Strike, and like even I went through a whole World of Warcraft phase as well when I was a teenager.
Yeah,
That was a rough part of my life. But looking back on it, it was an amazing game, and
yeah,
like, but I do fear that if I was to play that again, it would ruin it for me. It just
you
wouldn't be
wouldn't
the
like
same.
it. Yeah,
It's like when you used to watch like I don't know when you were like a kid and you watched an amazing movie and you watch
yeah.
it again, you're like, wow, that was shit.
I I have zero fear of that with Halo 3. I feel like if I
Okay.
were to dig out an Xbox these days and there was the problem is that people have gravitated away from it, so there isn't the online numbers there. You'd be matchmaking for
Yeah.
trying to find a game for ages. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But I'd have
That's
zero
the
fear
problem
about
with these
that.
Call of Duties that come out every single year. And the
Yeah,
fucking FIFA, or they call it FC 24 or something now.
yeah.
Like, you
It's the
think,
money churner.
stop it.
Yeah,
No, it's just like, just fucking update the game. That's what I love about Fortnite is, one, it's free. You haven't got to pay a
yeah,
single penny. And even if you don't pay, like, you have the same level as everyone else. Like, there's no
yeah,
advantage of buying. It's not pay to win.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, there is a game that I've been playing now for oh Jesus, how old am I? 33. 12, 12 years now, roughly speaking.
Is this the one that you
Called
mentioned
Dota
last
2.
time? That's the
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's exactly that. So you can buy like cosmetics and stuff, which again I'm not interested in.
Mm,
But every game starts clean slate. You're kind of
yeah.
put with matchmaking based on skill. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, but for that exact reason, and that's a much better model, and it's kind of stood the test of time, and it's got a massive player base because there isn't a new one every year. Like I had someone message me the other day because stupidly I bought the previous Call of Duty, like the not the one that's just come out, the one that was just older than that, and I probably played it for all about 5 hours. Realized that I'm
Yeah.
now shit at shooting games, and everyone is, their reaction speeds are way better because I'm old and all this kind of stuff, and they're cheating, and
Yeah.
I just didn't get any worth out of it.
I know what you mean. Like, so Call of Duty, I do love playing Call of Duty. It's
Hmm.
I love playing multiplayer, team deathmatch, or like even free for all. I think they call it, or the one
Yeah,
where they got to pick up the necklaces, or whatever they call it. I don't know what they're called. Dog tag.
text. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, but as soon as they introduced the sort of competitive side of it with Fortnite, with the battle royale version of it, what's it called?
yeah.
You know what I'm on about.
Another one, yeah.
I think it was just too much. I'm like, this isn't great for a first person shooter. The map
Mm,
is massive. And it just
yeah,
takes ages. Whereas at least with the third person, you can see you have a much wider sort of view. You can see what's
yeah,
going on around you. Like, it's quite funny with Call of Duty because you can literally stand behind someone and they can't see you because of the first person aspect.
yeah,
It's quite
yeah,
funny. So you just stab people in the back and then kill them. It's good for therapy, I guess.
yeah.
But I can't, like, as a dad, there's no
Please
way.
tell your therapist that.
As a dad, there's no way that I can get away with playing Call of Duty in front of my son. But with Fortnite, it's a three. You can be
Yeah,
three and play Fortnite.
yeah.
Despite there
That's
being
mad.
guns, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, but best will in the world. Like boys like to pretend they have guns at the best of times anyway. Like when you're a kid,
Yeah.
like everything is a gun essentially. That's just kind of how we're wired. Once you see a gun, it's like,
I had a video
yes,
call. I don't want to comment in case she listens to this. I had a video call with someone who wanted to meet me to partner up. Who I won't say names or anything, but they wanted to partner up with business with the fuzzy logic side of it.
hmm,
And she's got a couple of kids, and she had to do it. It was during half term, so she had to do a video call rather than a meeting. And I just asked her like, "Oh, like where are the kids? How are you managing to do the call, sort of thing?" She's like, "Oh, they're just in there playing GTA." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, you don't look very old to be having kids that are old enough to play GTA." And she was like, "Oh yeah, don't
yeah.
judge. One's 3 and one's 5." I'm like,
What the
"Le-
fuck? No, no, no.
exactly. My, do you know
Fuck.
what? Because I have no filter. That took everything to not go exactly what you said.
No,
I was just
no.
like,
I mean, I don't know
okay,
this person, so I can say you're a shit parent. But um, like, I probably started playing like one of the original GTA's. And by the way, when I say GTA, we're not talking about like San Andreas or Vice City. I'm old enough that the GTA that I started playing was like top-down view,
yeah,
and
same
like,
on
yeah, like
GameCube or whatever it was.
very, very different to how you consider GTA like modern. And I was probably, I don't know, 10-ish. That's all, and that
Yeah,
was still too young to be playing that. But these but 3 and 5, fuck
I
me.
remember, and apologies to my dad if he listens to this. I remember at school, I must have been about 11, and Vice City came out. I think I was about 11 or 12.
Mm.
Might have been 12. And Vice City came out, and my dad was like, "There's no fucking way you're playing that game." And I went, "Well, you're swearing at me anyway, so I might as well." No, I'm joking. I was like, "That's fine." But I knew a mate who'd completed it,
Yeah,
and he tried to sneak it into school. Actually, no, he successfully sneaked it into school, put it in my
yeah,
bag, and then that night, literally that night, I was up all night playing Vice City. And
nice.
it was like the best. I felt like such a rebel. I was like, I had to like block my door, my bedroom, just so I was like
Yeah,
aware if my dad came through, just so I could be like. And dad never found out. And then literally about 6 months after, it was my birthday, so I was turning 13, and he bought me Vice City, and I had to act like, "Oh, thank you so much."
oh
Like I've
no.
not just completed that and done all the cheat codes, and
Yeah,
so it just ended up on my shelf. I think it was still in the cellophane for ages.
yeah. Good game
But
though.
it is a good game. But back then, obviously, the graphics were bad, but you like they're
You
as
don't
good
know
as
any
you knew
different though.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like
If you
yeah,
go
their
near that
tits
game
are
now, it's
triangular, but it's fine.
yes, yeah. I mean, I'm fully embracing I don't know, some kind of weird switch has gone in my head where I'm like, I know I'm a geek, but now I really don't care if everyone else knows that I'm a geek as well. I mean, like I'm full on geeking out this year. Like so, uh, I'm playing airsoft this Sunday, so you're aware of the airsoft. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Again, it's pretty geeky, but I'm okay with it.
I wouldn't say it's
Um,
geeky.
oh no,
I
dude!
don't
If you
know.
came to one of
It's
these
just
games, you would hear people talking about like, "Oh, I've upped the FPS on my gun by 5 by doing this." Trust me, it's geeky. Um, that you could, there's levels of like anorak you can go to with that. I don't really do much of that. I just turn up and shoot people. But um, then I've started playing. I don't know if you heard of it. It's a game called Baldur's Gate 3. It's on PS5.
no.
Essentially it's an RPG style thing. You can play it single player and all
Borderlands, you
this.
mean?
No, Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate,
It's
no.
essentially right. So this kind of leads me on to my next thing. It's quite relevant, but it's based on D&D, so Dungeons and Dragons, and it's like
Okay, that's an
turn-based
idea.
combat, all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff. Yep.
I think you have
So
to
I've got
qualify as a
a
virgin to play that game, don't you?
yeah, it's growing back. Don't worry. Um, so I've got we started a D&D group as well. So we've had our first session last week before. Yeah,
Okay.
and we've got our next one next week as well. So yeah, full on geek life.
Yeah, that is I'm a bit worried about you. But
Yeah, but the way I see it, there's people our age who are, still out just doing coke every weekend, just getting off their face on
mm,
just getting drunk and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, you enjoy dying young. I'm gonna die in a weird sort of
playing
RPG
Pokemon.
related dice game. Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go.
My other mate started collecting Pokemon cards again, and I'm just like, I'm really sorry, but I just can't get on board with that. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I
Do you
don't
know? I
collect
mean,
stuff apart from cameras.
yeah. Yes, there is that. But I mean, if I'd have kept hold of my Pokemon card collection from when I was younger,
Oh,
that would have
100% the
been worth
same.
a small fortune now.
Same, 100%. I feel like everyone feels like has that fear of like,
Yeah.
if I had only just kept them.
And this is the thing, like I'm now thinking, I'm looking about and kind of thinking, right, what have I got now, which I should really be keeping hold of? But the thing is, I don't
Yeah.
collect anything these days because I'm not a child. Um, other than weights, obviously. How exciting! Um, everything at the moment is digital. There's no like physical things. But yeah, my Pokemon card
You say
collection
that. I didn't realize
was massive.
HMV was still a thing.
Yeah.
Like, who is buying CDs and DVDs and Blu-rays
Well,
anymore?
also like Game. I thought Game went out of business a long time ago, but apparently not. It's just been bought by Sports Direct of all
Oh,
things.
really? I didn't know
So
that.
now in some Sports Directs, so Sports Direct is a massive company, by the way. I had no idea. So Sports Direct
Yeah.
obviously owns Sports Direct. I don't know if it's like a
But in
parent
my
company or
head, they're
whatever.
like the B&M of sportswear.
But they own House of Fraser. So they bought House of
Do
Fraser.
they?
They bought Game. So now in like House of Fraser, if you go in, there's like there used to be like sections of different brands and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
still a thing. But then there'll be a game in there, and there'll be a Sports Direct
Yeah.
section. And like, I was, okay, I mean, fine, I guess. But I didn't know people still go to Game to buy games. I just buy
I
stuff
didn't know that.
on the actual
Yeah.
console or via Steam on the laptop.
I do have massive concerns though with retail people. Like, retail just isn't going to be a thing. Like, I know I probably said this 5 years ago, but I'd say give it
Mm.
another 5 years, and retail would only be like the big places like Blue Water and
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? Like the big, like I can't see Sittingbourne High Street being a thing.
But and this is it. But some people always like going shopping. I am so far removed from that these days. Like I can do
Mm.
everything I need to online and never have to step foot in a shop.
Yeah, and you haven't
And
got to put your polo shirt on either, have you? Like, it's a lot less effort.
that's a choice. That's not have to. That's a choice. So I love a polo shirt. What's wrong with a polo shirt?
I'm joking. I wear polo shirts all the time for work, so I can't talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's your work uniform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
Maybe we should make
I'm
some like
sad.
gym wear polo shirts because I know the polo shirts are originally meant for sports. Originally, like
Golf,
polo, obviously.
tennis.
But maybe like a gym version for like really separate yourself from like the average gym goer and really
I'd get
separate
annoyed
yourself
with a
as just a
collar. I
knobhead.
think
Yeah,
I like wearing a vest when I'm working out.
I can't wear a vest. I get accused of things.
What do you get accused of? What
But
beating your
I
wife up?
wore a vest once into the gym, and I had people saying I was on steroids and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'll take it as a weird sort of compliment, but
Yeah, it's a compliment.
yeah,
Am I going
I'll
down
take
again? It. One sec. This fucking chair. I tell you.
Right, can we use some terminology here and invest in a new chair?
No. There's apparently a way I can fix it. I've been googling it and I've been trying my best to I don't know. There's just something that I need to do to it.
Okay, so for
but it's not the chair. I need to invest in I need to replace the hydraulic system underneath it.
Okay, when you actually get the part to do this, can you film it for a time lapse with one of your many cameras?
You didn't even time lapse your fucking gym. Why am I going to time lapse a chair?
Yeah, but I don't film shit. But just time lapse and just time how long it takes you to actually repair it versus, and then we can see what your hour is worth based on how long it takes you to repair that chair compared to the chair you could just buy.
What? No. Have you built an office chair before?
Years ago, when I actually worked in
the hydraulic bit literally just snaps off.
All right.
Yeah. It's literally just basically it wedges itself into the wheels, and you can just pull that apart and then just replace it.
There's such a boomer attitude. Like, I don't need to buy a new one. I'm going to repair it.
It's not. I guess so, but it's so. Yeah, I don't know. I know how to fix it, but I just haven't. There's a way that you could bodge it. I was trying because I don't ever lower my chair, so I was just thinking there must be a way that I can just keep it up all the time, like just tape it or something.
I'm kind of basing it based on where your beard line is on the screen compared to your microphone as the constant, and you just gradually start to drop. Yeah,
it's been my life for the last 6 months. I'm just having to constantly.
It's been 6 months.
Yeah, but think about the exercise. I just randomly squat every 5 minutes.
Oh god,
it gets me up, doesn't it? It's good.
Yeah,
maybe that's a life hack. Break your chair, and then you get a bit of exercise in during your video editing.
Lose the chair and just waltz it. Waltz it for 10 hours a day. For the biggest quads.
I do love a waltz it now with my clients because obviously what's that?
I mean, as just a fun, as you know, this originally was gym based. Do you want a fun way of making a waltz it worse?
Putting weight on.
Imagine your legs would be this kind of shape with wall over here. So you're this kind of shape. All you're going to do is bring your feet closer to the wall like that, and then come up onto your toes. Infinitely worse.
Is that good for your knees?
Yeah.
Yeah, because your knees are over your toes there, aren't they? There's a lot of strain on your knee.
Not so much on your knee.
I guess not because you're leaning back.
Quad.
Yeah.
Try it. Give it a go now.
I'll give that a go tomorrow,
yeah.
If I do it now, the green screen will break. That's not a real wall. That's a fake wall.
What?
People are just finding out now. Sorry?
Give it a go. Do it against your wall.
No,
against your door.
No, you won't be able to hear me. You just hear the door slowly open and then me falling backwards.
Shit.
Where was we even going? Yeah, we should probably. We're talking about video games for 20 minutes. Let's rein things back in. How's business otherwise? Have you had any? Have you found any other gyms or anything you want to go into?
The gyms I want to trial. I haven't. I've not honestly been looking, but yeah. I mean, PT wise, things have gone just berserk. In the last 2 weeks, I've added an extra 8 hours of PT per week to what I'm doing already. So I'm so far at capacity, it's untrue. And this is why I feel like I can really invest some time into the online side of things, because it is the only way that I'm actually going to be able to continue to scale.
This is it.
Because I suppose it's a little bit different for you where it isn't your full-time thing. But for some people, if they can't make a certain session, or like they can't do a regular session, or shift workers, for example, I like to be able to offer some level of flexibility.
Yeah.
So there are some alternate hours for people to be able to book into. If I take on more people, I'm going to lose that flexibility. So the only other route then is online coaching, where I then per week can allocate time that I can do check-ins with people and stuff like that. Because that's a bit more flexible, at least, you know.
I'm slowly coming away from the one-to-ones, I think.
Okay.
Like I might
You're thinking more
even
classes.
stop them next year because the 11 is just I don't know. I want to see if it's successful again in January, and if it is, then I think it's a given. Like I might just do the 11 and then offer just the 11 PT sessions, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit of a benefit.
January will be the time when it's most successful, and just
Yeah,
based on what gyms are like in January, and people will look for alternatives and generally looking to get fit and healthy. But I think the advertising for that starts now, which is also again what I'm kind of pitching at for
yeah.
January. So you've got to be a little bit ahead of the curve with that side
Well,
of
this is
things
it. So I've
because you
already
don't want
pushed
people to
because people
join
have
the
been
gym.
inquiring it, and so
Yeah.
I've had to say, right, almost treat it like it's a concert, and be like, right, tickets
Hmm.
are available on the 15th of November at 9 a.m.
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
that's so much interest, and I'm like, I'd rather
yeah,
not like have to pick and choose. Just you first come first serve sort of thing. But
yeah,
I'm having to do 3 groups, I think, rather than just the one. So that and the thing is, it's the difference of, and it sounds, well, I'll be completely transparent. It's the difference of earning £40 an hour for one PT sessions
yeah,
to earning £200 an hour with
yeah,
11.
yeah.
It's like a
It's
no
madness.
brainer. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
unreal.
yeah, yeah.
And I didn't think it would work, but it does. So I'll just
Hmm.
go with it.
Yeah. Why not
See how it goes.
make the most of it? Um, it's good. It plays to your strengths of. Don't take this in the wrong way, but being a performing monkey, you like being
Yeah,
in front of people. You like, and that
this is it.
you your game elevates when you're in front of more people. It seems.
No, I
Um,
appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's a compliment because that
I
is me.
Yeah, it is, and you can see that like from when I've seen you in networking and stuff like that, and that's not me. I wouldn't say,
Yeah,
and that's where we are separate, and we go down different routes. I would say.
that's why
Um,
us work. That's why the between sets work
yeah,
because we're so
yeah, it's
opposite.
it, and
Yeah.
you can kind of see like I think we bounce off each other, and we have different approaches to business and also PT and training in general.
Mm.
You'll get different monster. Your green
Yeah,
screen
just the
really
way it's
messed me
quite
with that.
funny how it blends in, isn't it? Because it's
Yeah.
green. It's funny.
Just
It's like a magic
kind of
trick.
caught the
Whoa.
yeah.
Um.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. You are
Just
right. It's good because the thing is
yeah,
that I refer people to you.
yeah,
Like I think honestly, I think next year I'll be referring one of my first clients to you because
yeah,
they've gone from the goal was just to lose weight and be happy with themselves, and now they are slowly getting addicted to the
yeah,
gym. They're getting addicted to ways that they can perform better in the gym, deadlifting, and I'm starting to go. So they're going to leave my one-to-ones. They're going to join the 11 in January again. They're already part of
yeah,
it, which is cool because the 11 really for me was just building the foundation. So then you can
mm,
go off by yourself and be confident in the gym space.
yeah,
But for people to go, no, I want to join again for next time. I'm like, well, that's really nice actually because it
yeah,
shows that it's not just a foundation; it's an ongoing thing. But then, yeah, so I said to her, like, as soon as you want to go technical, proper technical, then yeah, I'll hit you up on Mike. And you haven't got to pay extra gym
yeah, yeah,
membership because
100%.
he's in his garage anyway, so it works.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not everyone gets to that point. And you'll see this in gyms where
Mm.
people will, there's a definite probably 50% of the gym will come in and they're there for enjoyment, they're there for health purposes, and they'll just kind of go through the motions each week, and they're just doing it to be fit, healthy, happy with what they're doing. Then you'll end up with 25% who kind of come and go and just stop turning up eventually, generally. And
Yeah,
then there's the other 25% who are like, I'm not just going to the gym, I'm training. And I
yeah,
use training as like, there's a very definite line between I'm just casually going to this thing versus I have a definite goal. I want to get there. Um, Not, it doesn't
yeah. I
happen
think
to everyone.
this time of the year is such a blurry line for a lot of people, and even for me. And I've
Yeah.
got to put my hand up. I'm like, because I've been prioritizing work and prioritizing PT in, my workouts are now just as and when I can fit them in, and I just
Yeah.
improvise. And sometimes I'm like, shit, what the fuck did I do last time? And now I'm just going, what hurts less? We'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Weirdly, you'd think because I have access to all my own stuff now, my workouts would get mega complicated and all this kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm regressing. Not in the sense that I'm not training hard. I'm regressing to like basics done
Mm.
well, if that makes sense. Like yesterday was a leg workout, and I just kind of thought to myself, well, fuck it. What exercise do I like doing least in the gym? And it's squats. I don't
Mm.
particularly like
Oh,
squats.
do
They
you
don't like
not?
me. So I did 10 sets of 5 squats, heavy.
Okay.
Um, It sucked.
Weighted squats, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. And by the end of it, my quads today are bad, and I know they're going to be worse tomorrow. And it does the job.
Yeah.
I was in there for 45 minutes just banging out squats. It was great. Well, awful, but great, if that makes sense.
You were, I'm not sure if we should mention it on the podcast, but last time you were looking into renting out your garage for people that just wanted to use it.
Yes.
Is that still something you wanted to do, is it?
I mean,
it's just a possibility.
Open to it.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, it would take a minimal amount of time to actually set up. Like we talked about it, and it was, set up a booking system and a way of people actually getting in, essentially, which is pretty straightforward. I think for the amount of interest I've had so far, it doesn't make sense for me to launch it just yet, because I've had some people, but I think having the freedom for me to use it literally whenever I want versus, actually, I can't do this then. I can't do this then. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth it at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be, to be honest. Yeah. But at the same time, like, you've always got like the gym out. Like, I don't know. For me, I love the fact that the gym closes, because a lot of my clients now want to train outside its closing hours, outside the opening hours. Sorry. Yep. So like, I'll train from like 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. And like, they have, especially people that are quite introverted, they're like, I would love to just go to the gym without people there.
Yep.
It's perfect.
And that would be the benefit to having that for people that just want to just get on and just do what they're going to do. I don't know. At the moment, it's not worthwhile, but it's an interesting model. And, we've talked about wanting to get somewhere open, and just having the option for people to kind of, it's the 24-hour gym model, just done a little bit better, essentially. It's an option, but I don't think I'm going to go ahead with that at the moment. It's one of these things where it's good to have ideas and it's good to think things through, but in doing so, you kind of realize, actually, it's not worth it. It's not worth the time setting it up and then actually maintaining it in a sense as well, like making sure people are booking correctly, making sure everything's been put away, everything's turned off. I'm not about that, to be honest.
I've got so I'd kind of, the whole 11 thing was just to get out of my comfort zone, because I think when we first had a chat after I passed my personal training qualification, I think I said to you, I would never do classes. I'm pretty sure I said this to you. I definitely said it to Zawa. I was like, I would never do classes. It's way too out of my comfort zone. I'm not confident in what I know. And then I kind of just thought, literally what you said, and it's a compliment as much as it's an insult. I'm a performer monkey, and that's kind of like how people, especially women, they want to have fun. Yes, the form, I know how form works. I'm not great at explaining things sometimes, and I don't know all the long words, but it kind of works in my favor, because then they understand what I'm saying, rather than, do you know what I mean? I'm kind of scooping to their level at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
So long as the best thing you can do as a trainer is explain something in terms that the person in front of you understands.
Yeah.
If they want to go into detail, you will generally find the people that do want to do that. And I like to go into detail and explain stuff and all this kind of thing. But if you're not able to dumb something down or pitch it at the level that you're talking to, well, then that's not useful, and you're not providing the correct service to that person. I think one of the best marks of an expert, and you might have seen some of these YouTube videos where you get like an astrophysicist come in and then they explain it in different levels, like to a 5-year-old, then to a teenager, to adult, graduate, and then postgraduate. And you can see the different levels that they're talking at. But being able to condense something down in simplistic terms, I think, is a real mark of you really know your shit,
Yeah.
It's fine for you to know what you're talking about, but if someone else can't pick up on that, then what's the point?
Yeah, no. So I think it just works in my favor, because if I knew all the long words, I would use them more naturally. So it kind of just works in my favor, because I've got no filter. I just kind of explain things how I see it in my head. But yeah, so what I've decided to do is, well, what I did is I posted a video of our boxing fitness class within the 11 on the Village Facebook group. and I just said like, would anybody be interested in this if I were to rent out the village hall every Saturday or whatever? And that had so much interest.
Yeah.
Like 40 women literally messaged and said, yes, count me in. And I'm like, that's mental.
Crazy, isn't it?
So I thought, well, what do I do? And obviously, regarding the pricing structure, I'm like, people are paying quite a lot of money for the 11, so I can't have like a cheap class.
Yeah.
But I'm not being charged rent for the village hall because I'm kind of part of the committee. And it's during a time where no one can rent it out anyway, 8 till 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's just fucking go with it. £10 a session, 100. So that's 140 quid if 14 people sign up, which is kind of the aim. I'm like 140 quid before most people wake up on the weekend. Like let's see how it goes. Yeah, people have signed up already, and it's not until next Saturday.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Like people have like half the tickets have already sold. It's like it's not even until next Saturday.
I mean, fair warning, it's the 16th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair warning. I'm just going to grab a load of people and come and like mob the place.
Well, you're not.
It's going to.
Yeah.
I assure you, it's going to look really busy.
You're not. You need a ticket.
No, yeah, it's going to be fine. We'll bring gloves. We'll bring pads. We'll be outside. We'll just be like, hello, that's him. One of the best things you can do, like when you're opening a shop, is like make it look busy. Pay for a queue, but yeah, it's going to be good. You like it.
I just didn't. I wasn't expecting it to sell out on the first session, and it is gonna be crazy, and it'll work hopefully. Like yes, I know, I'm not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but that's what PT is about. It's like having a therapist, right? You got to find the right connection.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. That's kind of the plan, I think, just to kind of like focus more on the class side of it because it does take me away. Like someone booked a PT session at 10:30 on Thursday. No, sorry, on Tuesday or Wednesday this week. And it just breaks up my whole day. So I've got to try and do like an hour video editing when I'm trying to hyper focus, and then it breaks straight away. I've got to go to the gym, come back again, and then try and get back into the swing of things. And it just doesn't work for my brain.
You sort of want to just chunk hours of your day. Like, okay, this 3 hours is this. You can
next year, that's the plan.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to get as productive as possible with it.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, if you're earning that much per hour from doing the classes, then it makes sense to prioritize those, and the PT just kind of takes a bit of a back burner essentially, and it is what it is. You know, it's an interesting model though, for sure.
But it was just naturally fell into it, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And I think if you'd have tried to force down another route, it probably wouldn't have worked. If it just naturally occurs, then it's good.
It's good. Would you join us? Would you before on sesh?
100%.
I think there's a lot of potential there with classes. Like we never thought about doing classes at our own gym, did we? We thought it would always be like 1-to-1 or maybe like small group training.
Mm-hmm.
But classes,
yeah, I mean, I've seen successful PT only gyms.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone again.
Yeah, it's all right. Carry on.
So PT only gyms where you can't turn up in a similar way to like a CrossFit gym where you only turn up for the CrossFit workout.
Yeah.
You essentially have groups of 3 to 4 people, and then throughout the day, they can't just turn up to train. They're turning up for dedicated PT sessions just as a group. Similar kind of idea, really. You know, instead of them paying the £40 an hour, you're paying £10 an hour, but it's dedicated, you know, to that sort of time.
I think for us as well, like that you'll hopefully, like touch words, you'll get to a point with your online training where you're like, you're going to be making the same amount of money if you owned a gym. So what's the point of owning a gym? But the whole point of us owning a gym is for the longevity of it. It's for the we want to step away from the business, go on holiday, and still be earning money, and that's what the benefits are there.
Yeah, it's the having something to be able to like. I'm very aware that in terms of training people, there is a shelf life on it.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of, well, maybe they do. Maybe I'm discrediting, but I think a lot of personal trainers kind of they think quite short term about stuff. You know, I'm trying to think about where am I going to be at when I'm 50? Okay, yeah, I'm still going to be training people when I'm 50 because I enjoy it. 60? Maybe 70. No. There is a definite shelf life to it, and you've got to be thinking, okay, what's my route plan here to be retired or have the option of retiring at 50? Because realistically, like if I want to train people at that age, great, cool. But if I don't want to, or I want to start to scale it back a little bit, then that needs to be thought about.
Definitely. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about at the minute is like with the 11, for instance, I know there's coaches that get paid by gyms, well, like yourself, right? Who are getting paid anywhere between 25 and £40 for an hour of class.
Yep.
But I'm getting paid £200 an hour. So at some point next year, I am going to be just taking on personal trainers to run my classes for me.
Yep.
And I'm still getting paid. I'm
Why
still
would you
walking
not?
away. I know exactly. But at the same time, there's always a risk to it. There's always going to be a risk of going, right, oh, well, I don't know why I'm here. I might as well just go over there and use them and do what classes what they do and snap or whatever. But
Yep.
that's fair. Like, do you know what I mean? There's always a risk there. And it's the same with me. Like, I'm taking on photographers and I'm taking on web designers for Fuzzy Logic. And then my customer would be like, well, why don't I just go straight to them? I'm like, well, yeah, but you didn't know about them. You didn't know about them until you met me. And like, do you know what I mean? And it's there's always a risk to it, and it's just trying to avoid that whole. Why am I part of the 11? I might as well just use them, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of companies that. So, for example, I know I've taken on a client recently who does. He works for a company that do web design and marketing and so on and so on. And I'll put you in contact with him actually because if you've got a customer that needs a website done, they can have it banged out in like 2 days according to spec, basically, because they're a
Yeah,
bigger company. But they work with the likes of like JP Morgan, like big companies, but on the premise of like non-disclosures essentially, or like non-competes. So even then, if your customer wanted to go to them, they're just a supplier for you essentially. There's no
yeah,
route in there for them because of that non-compete clause.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, okay.
it is it's the right way to go, and one of the first things that I've come across in terms of the materials I've started looking at for business coaching now for online stuff is farming out the administration side of things. So, for example, um, if I want a reel quickly edited together with like captions and stuff like this, rather than me sitting there for half an hour fanning around with it, um, I can send it through to these guys and they'll do it for £5.
Yeah,
Simple as that. Now, if I've got a PT, an online client, which is I don't know £120 a month, that should take roughly half an hour a week, probably a bit less once I get good at it. So then you're looking at about £60 an hour rate.
yeah,
It doesn't make sense for me to spend an hour of my time doing something I can have done for £5.
yeah,
It doesn't make sense. So it just make your time efficient and farm it out. And you'll get to the same thing with your classes. You'll get the same thing with certain aspects of fuzzy logic.
yeah,
It has to go that way.
yeah. Like with Fuzzy Logic, like literally, the business plan is to kind of be a team of commercial content creators. So it's just like recruiting people that want to team up and they want more reach, and you know what I mean, and they want to be part of the Fuzzy Logic brand. And that's kind of like, and it will work. That's the plan. But in my head, I'm like, can I do the same thing with personal training, where it's like the 11 is using the best class instructors in the area, and every single
Yep.
week you'll have a different class instructor. Yes, they'll advertise their services and they'll advertise the classes that they're doing outside of that, but they're kind of almost doing it for free because it's free advertisement for them. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, the thing is, I know a lot of class instructors, as you can imagine, because I've worked alongside them for a long time.
Mm.
Um, Again, I can pass you over details. You're not competing.
No,
You're not
yeah,
competing with each other because people have more than enough ability to go to 3 classes in a row if they really want to,
yeah,
and people will go to multiple class instructors who they'll kind of pick and choose across the week based on their preference. If they want a really high activity class, they'll go to the likes of like me or Zara or Abby. If they want a spin class, they'll go to like Tanya in Sittingbourne.
yeah,
It's all this kind of stuff. It just people pick and choose where they want to end up
100%. No, I
essentially.
agree. No, I definitely agree. I think with me, my niche is just to literally just have fun, like fun and sweat. That's it. I don't really care. Like because you are there
Fun, fun.
basically to lose, to just burn calories. That's really the end goal.
Yeah.
With boxing and stuff anyway. Obviously, if I'm doing I'm doing pump on Sunday, But again, even with pump, it's like it's not like going for a workout, is it? It's just building some sort of endurance up for an hour. Unless you did pump every
Please
day.
don't tell anyone. Just buy yourself one of those weird leotard things to go over your jogging bottoms and the fluffy roll up socks and just turn up.
Well,
Like that needs to happen.
I
You
was
know
thinking
that
about going as Mr. Motivator last week. We did aerobics last week, and I was like, I
yeah.
really want to dress up as Mr. Motivator, but I'm not sure if it's racist. As long as I
No,
don't black
I
myself
don't
up.
think so. I mean, if you were to go blackface, then yeah, probably, but maybe don't do that.
Yeah, maybe not. That's part of the get, though, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, cool. It's been 55 minutes. We've just talked shit again, as per usual, every 2 weeks. We've actually
Thanks for
touched
tuning
base
in,
on
guys.
fitness, though. We did touch base on fitness a lot.
There's some fitness. There's some fitness
Yeah.
involved. I mean, last week we were in a gym, so last week before last.
Yeah.
You'd have seen it last week from when we are filming this.
We still need to do a chicken wings
Cheers.
thing. I'm not sure if we try and squeeze that in before Christmas.
I don't know where we're doing this, by the way.
I don't know.
Oh,
We'll sort it out.
on the topic of hot food, by the way, you know how you have hot crisps,
Yeah.
and then they're never really hot, like chili heat wave Doritos or spicy knickknacks, whatever else. My brother and sister-in-law, they found some crisps in America, and they deliberately ordered them over to here, cost them an absolute fortune, and they brought them to our last gathering. They are Carolina Reaper flavored crisps.
Wow.
Oh, holy shit!
Have you heard of the one chip challenge?
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah, I
Is it
don't
like
want
that? Is it?
after tasting some of these crisps, I don't want anything to do with it because you see these things online, and think, how hard can it be? Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, they actually tasted quite nice. Number one, fine. Number two,
And then it
yeah, this is
grows.
fine. I'm just eating crisps. 3 and 4, I don't know if I was eating them too quickly or I just wasn't
But
waiting
have you
enough, but it
tried?
was painful.
There's a new flavor out of Doritos, I think, but definitely what's it's called the extra hot.
Right?
Try them. I think they're in the
Yeah.
local shop, the nicer, Nisa, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I say nicer. Try them. I think they're like £1.50 for a big bag of what's it. But seriously,
Yeah.
after 3 or 4, your mouth is on fire, and that's coming from me, who I eat spicy food a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
I might do that, and I might have the comparison with those crisps because
yeah.
I'll find out what they're called, and we'll try and
For
get some.
what's
But
it anyway? They're fucking hot.
Jesus, yeah, I think that would catch some people out as well. Because normally when something's so spicy on crisps, you just kind of go, it's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. I know
I
what
don't
you
know,
mean.
but yeah, I don't know where we're going to do the wings thing. I don't. Is there anywhere local that does wings challenges? I don't know why I'm trying to push
There's a
this
few
because I'm not
places.
good with
Yeah,
spice. It turns out.
we'll sort it out. I think we'll do that as our last episode of the season, maybe at some point in the next few
Yeah,
weeks.
that's
Maybe.
definitely going to be tuning into YouTube so you can see me crying, basically.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do. The next episode should be the finale of the season. We'll eat some wings,
Yep.
and then we'll take Christmas off. Yeah, we'll come
Yep.
back in the new year. That sounds like a plan. Because I'm just so fucking busy at the minute. Seriously. So I'm telling clients that there's a 4-month turnaround because I'm back to back to the end of January, and it's so overwhelming. Because my brain always thinks, right, what needs to be done? I want to get everything done today so I can relax, and I'm like, that's not how it works. I can't get everything done. I mean, it's impossible. So it's just prioritizing now, and it's just
It's one of those you're going to have to start farming stuff out basically to people.
Yeah,
and
basically
that's the only way it can progress because you can't continually be a one-man band working at a rate of knots to just get shit done all the time.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
But I'm waiting till April. April's like right, end of the tax year, and then I'm gonna like start scaling the business, employing, or definitely actually probably won't be employing because of the whole fucking labor bollocks. But subcontracting shit. Oh, exciting times. Exciting times. Anyway, I think you've spoken about Taskmaster yet. Do you watch Taskmaster?
Yes, I've seen some of the early seasons, I think.
We went to the Taskmaster live experience on Tuesday this week.
Oh, right. The live experience?
Yeah,
as in
you
just watch it?
No, so you just watch it. No, so yeah. There's a place in London you go and you actually do the Taskmaster tasks. There's like it's like 5 tasks. So I won. I was well proud of myself. And then like the final task, you know, at the end where they do like a live task and you're on stage. Yeah. But on this one, it was like, right, all the points that you've just accrued don't count. Whoever wins this wins. And I'm like, fuck off. I have won every single task. Like I was so proud of myself.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, because there's
what bullshit's that? No.
I know. and then I lost. I'm like, you fucking cunt. I was having such a good day as well. I was absolutely smashing it. And then like, you want me to throw socks at a can? This isn't skill. This is like, and what's so basically. Oh, I think I'm ruining it for people. Actually, I think I signed an NDA, so I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I won't talk about it. I won't go into detail. But if you make it to the final task, make sure that you're the last to go. So stand at the other side of the room. For anyone listening that's got tickets, and then that's all I'll say. And I'll talk to you about it.
I didn't even know that's a thing.
Yeah, yeah, it is really good. To be fair, you're kind of like you're treated like one of the celebrities. It's fun. Anyway, we'll call it now because it's been an hour. Thanks for listening, guys. The next time we see us, hopefully, we'll be doing something a bit different. So apologies if there's a bit of delay to the next episode. But yeah, final one of the season until we take a break before Christmas. I can't believe it's November. It's mental.
You're probably going to want to watch the next one on YouTube as well, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon so. It's going to be messy.
I'm not good with this stuff. It's gonna kick my ass.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. If you don't already, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to YouTube, like the reels that we're sending out, and we'll make more for the next season. Have a good few weeks. Bye.
We'll see you soon. Bye bye.